Profit multiplier number 5, stealth asset leverage. Comes from my free report, 6 ways to double your sales from your existing list without spending a dime on ads, affiliates, or JV partners. All right. So in this presentation, you're going to discover how to identify the real assets in your business, debunking the myth of list size, 12 questions to ask any list broker, 7 ways to deploy stealth asset leverage to email lists, revenue per subscriber versus profit per subscriber, 3 tips to control ad management cost, how to lower your CPA cost by 20% and increase profits, how to profit from people who don't buy, why the old economy is dead and is never coming back, and a $35 million case study on advanced stealth asset leverage. So let's get started. Dan Denley here, founder of Overwatch Force. What you're about to discover is powerful stuff, okay? You need to take this seriously because I didn't several years ago, and I potentially left millions of dollars on the table, which I'll explain a little bit later. This is how multi-billion-dollar brands operate, okay? For example, Disney. And also, I should note that after analyzing my net income over the past decade, I realized that my highest income years were when I gave the most attention to applying stealth asset leverage, which I'm going to explain in this presentation. Also, this content is unique. I rarely ever notice anybody talking about it or writing about it. Rookies simply do not understand this, and wicked smart people do, okay? So you need to do it. And I'm not making this stuff up. I've lived it, applied it, and I know it works. This is not theory, it's tried and true, and I'm going to show you examples. So let's define asset. I looked up in the old Google, and here's what it came up with. Asset: a useful or valuable thing, person, or quality. A property owned by a person or company regarded as having value and available to meet debts, commitments, or legacies. That's an interesting word, legacies. And also, there's the military equipment such as planes, ships, communications, radar installations. For our purposes, let's just make it simple. A useful or valuable thing, person, or quality. A property owned by a person or company regarded as having value. Okay, that's good. And you should note that property here can be either intellectual, a brand like Disney, it can be virtual, like a website, or it can be tangible, like a Rolex watch, okay? Now I realize some of this is kind of cerebral and cognitive and kind of hard to get your head wrapped around, but just stick with me, okay? I'm going to give you some really concrete, tangible examples of all this stuff, but I need to get the definitions out of the way first. Here's an asset example. Your list, okay, or your audience. It can be an email list, a mailing list, YouTube subscribers, Facebook fans, or Twitter followers, okay? Any of those are your list. And for our purposes, we're just going to focus on one list for this presentation. That's going to be email list, all right? So the value of your list depends on your relationship with the people on it. And I think we forget sometimes that our list, those are human beings, and they deserve to be treated like human beings, okay? They're not a herd of cattle. They're human beings. Make sure you remember that. All right, so the myth of list size. The size of your list is only one factor that influences its value, okay? The size of your list is only one factor that influences its value. It is not the only factor, and here I'm going to show you an example. Let's say that you sell t-shirts with a picture of the US President Barack Obama with a caption that reads, "Obama's my homeboy." Okay? Let's say that you have 2 options. Option 1, you can buy an email blast. In other words, you take your email and you go to The Blaze and they send it to their 2.5 million subscribers. Now, The Blaze happens to be a right-leaning publisher. Okay, but it's 2.5 million subscribers, right? That sounds great, right? 2.5 million. The other option is you can buy an email blast from the Huffington Post to 30,000 subscribers who have opened at least one email in the last 30 days, have an annual household income of at least $100,000 a year, who have contributed to the 2008 presidential election, who live in Washington, D.C., and are registered members of the DNC. Which one of those 2 list options one with 2.5 million subscribers and the other with 30,000 subscribers with incredibly good data, which one of those do you think is going to actually perform better? Probably option 2, right? Even though it's only 30,000 subscribers. So this is why you need to be real careful when someone's talking about their size of their list. In my opinion, list size in a lot of cases doesn't matter much. In fact, sometimes it doesn't matter at all. Okay, for example, in this example I just gave you. So here's 12 questions to ask any list broker. So this is somebody that you would go to and you'd say, hey, I have an offer. I want to rent a list. Here's 12 questions that you need to ask them. And of course, by rent a list, I mean you're going to give them an email and they're going to send it to their list. You don't get the email subscribers, okay? All right, so you need to ask them, how many active subscribers are on this list? What are your list hygiene practices? In other words, when do you unsubscribe people, or do you ever unsubscribe people? So in one of my businesses, we actually unsubscribe people if they haven't opened an email from us, if they haven't opened an email from us in the past 60 days, we unsubscribe them because they're not interested. And the longer you have that dead weight on your list, the lower your deliverability is. Okay, that's really important. Deliverability is super important because the ISPs are watching that. They're watching to see how many people opened your list. Okay, and I don't want this to be a whole presentation of list hygiene, but you need to ask them that. How many clicks have you gotten in the last 30 days? Okay, so how many emails did you send out and how many of those things got actually clicked? So if they send out 30 emails, okay, that went to 500,000 people every time, how many clicks did they get on those emails? How often do you mail? They're mailing every day, every other day, every week? Has it been 3 months since they mailed anything? Okay. What mix of content versus pitch do you have? Do they just send out a pitch every single day, or are they mixing up content with the pitch? Again, this goes back to the relationship. How do you monitor your deliverability? That's a big one. And a lot of times you ask that question, they have no answer. That's bad. That's a bad sign, because if they don't even know if the emails are getting delivered, and now they're going to sell you that list, or rent you that list or that space. How many subscribers are buyers? Okay, are these people that just are freebie guys, or are they buyers? How did these people get on this list? Are they buyers? Are they go to a blog and there's a pop-up? Are they co-registration? Okay, if they're co-reg, I'd run for the hills. Okay, now, can you give me 3 referrals of people who have repeatedly purchased this list or rented this list from you? So I want 3 names of other people who are doing business with you who are repeat buyers. Because if they did a one and done, that doesn't mean anything. All they did was run a test, it failed, and they moved on. So you want 3 referrals from people that bought from them multiple times. What's their average open rate in the past 30 days? Is it 10%, 5%, 20%, 30%? If it's below 20%, I usually don't even test it. How many new subscribers in the last 30 days? So is this list from 10 years ago and it's 500,000 people? Okay, and there were like 14 people that signed up in the past 30 days? Okay, that's going to be a terrible result. I can tell you. You want fresh, new. The newer, the better. And then, are there selects available? In other words, is there a list segmentation? So, for example, just recently, one of my guys came to me and said, hey, Dan, we found this list. It's 260,000 people, and we think we want to run a test of them. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what's the actual, who's on the list? And they're like, oh, it's I think it was songwriters or musicians or something like that. I was like, okay, well, that's fine. Can they tell us how many people on their songwriters list are guitarists? Because we sell guitar stuff. And the guy who plays a trumpet does not care about our guitar offer. And they went and asked, and the guy came back and was like, no, we don't know. It's 260,000 people. But if you want to test it, I'm like, no, I don't think so. Okay. So again, just this one slide could save you potentially tens of thousands of dollars in mistakes that I've made in the past. So here's 7 ways to deploy stealth asset leverage to email lists. Sell your stuff to your house list. Okay, that's obvious. And that's where most people stop. Okay, they think in terms of, this is my list, I sell my products. Okay, that's the way people that don't make a lot of money think. Okay, because there's a whole lot of other ways to do it. Now, I shouldn't say don't make a lot of money. Okay, it's all relevant. But I'm just saying you're leaving a lot of money on the table if you don't deploy this other stuff. Number 2, sell your stuff to your house list and rent ad space to advertisers. Okay, that's another way you can do it. So you could have in the body of your copy and your body copy of your email, you could have your offer, and on the right hand side, you could sell ad space, some type of skyscraper or just some simple banner ads, and you could go out to other people who have similar interests and say, hey, if you want to rent this ad space, it's $400 and it goes out to 30,000 people every time. Okay, and then if you have 4 advertisers, now you get 12. Now you're getting paid $1,200. Okay, you're offsetting that cost of sending that email. You're offsetting the cost. You're getting paid $1,200 to send a list to send an offer to your house list. Okay, do it all the time, and I play both sides of the coin. Either I'll send the list, I'll send the offer to my house list and have that ad space, or I'll be the guy renting that ad space and generating leads and sales from someone else's assets. Okay, so the publisher model, basically you could have, for example, from our sponsors, you would send an email and they say, check out the email below from our sponsor. You would promote other people's products or services to your house list and charge the advertiser a flat rate. Okay, that's list rental. That's the way that works. Endorsement model. Okay, you promote other people's products or service to your house list and you get paid a commission. Okay, that's also very, very common, right? That's where most people stop. They either do number 1 or number 4, and then they kind of stop. But I'm trying to open you up to some other ideas here. All right. Now, rent other people's lists and pay a flat rate. Okay, high risk and not for the weak-minded. So if you rent other people's list and you pay a flat rate, they have no idea what your sales are, and that's the way I like it. Okay, I actually prefer number 5 over offering them a commission, right? Because I've seen many times where even if I had to pay $5, $10, $15, $20,000 to the list owner to get them to send one email and it was just a flat rate, I got back multiples of that in the long run. Whereas if I had given them the commission, okay, if I said, hey, look, let's split the commission on this thing, you send it out to your list, that same email would have cost me $50,000 instead of 10. Okay, so a lot of times people get this idea in their head that affiliate marketing is going to be the holy grail that's going to it's like the greatest thing ever because there's no risk. There's no risk because you're only going to pay out when they send you sales. But if you have a good converting offer, you can make a lot more money by just renting that list. Plus, there's another reason to do it, but I won't go into it. So number 6 is get other companies to sell your stuff, okay, via an affiliate program, and you pay them a commission. Okay, so again, you can play both sides of this coin, and actually sometimes what I'll do is I'll say, look, I'll either give you 50% of the commission or I'll pay you the fee, whichever's higher. Okay, and that's really, I only go that route if I want a super long-term relationship and there's some strategic reason I need to partner up with that company. All right, and number 7 is broker your list to a third party, for example, Newsmax. So if you have a list, let's say, of conservative people who have a net worth of $500,000 and they're investors, then you could take that list to Newsmax and you could say, look, bring me advertisers, and Newsmax is going to take a percentage, which is always negotiable. Bring me advertisers from your following, and I will pay you a percentage of the ad revenue that we get. Okay, so for example, if you had, let's just say you had 30,000 people and you had you were going to charge $1,000 every time you send an email out for somebody, Newsmax would go and find that customer, bring them to you and say, this guy has an offer that he thinks is relevant. We want to give you $500, or he wants to give you $1,000. You charge Newsmax charges the advertiser the $1,000, and then you get a check for $500. Okay, and then you can do that multiple times. So you can tell Newsmax, look, I need you to sell this ad space on every Wednesday. You can go to The Blaze or to somebody else and you can say, look, I got this list. If you can bring me advertisers, I have an open slot every Friday. Okay, and because usually it's hard for them to fill it up your entire schedule. So those are 7 ways that you can monetize your list. Now let's just talk about the one that I think is probably most familiar to most people, and that is the endorsement model, where you promote other people's products and services to your house list and you get paid a commission. And I'm going to show you how this can lower your CPA. All right, So here's the big idea. To maximize the lifetime value of your customers, you must get paid to promote other people's products and services, sometimes even your direct competitors. All right? You need to check your ego at the door or suffer the consequences. Your customers will buy your competitors' products or services whether you like it or not. So you might as well get paid in the process. I think that's John Reese. I think I learned that from him way back around 2004. But the bottom line is that's right. That's right. So let's talk about it. Leveraging other people's products and getting paid. Other companies have assets, okay? Your competitors, other companies have assets, products, services. And affiliate marketing allows you to leverage their hard work, their research and development, their production costs, their systems, their everything, okay? Their brand. It's a win-win. You give your customers what they want and you get paid in the process. Here's why this matters. He who can spend the most to acquire the customer wins, okay? So if you can outspend your competitor, you win. You win, okay? If you're spending money on advertising, and you should be if you're serious about controlling your financial future, if you're dependent only on JVs, you really need to get away from that as fast as humanly possible. And I can tell you from experience, I've been there, done that. It's very intoxicating. However, you will be screwed if that relationship goes down the drain, okay? And sometimes the relationships between the different lists become so incestuous that the list gets burnt out and the whole thing crashes and burns. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, okay? It costs you a certain amount of money to get that customer. That's called a CPA, cost per acquisition. Adding affiliate offers to your follow-up sequence effectively lowers your CPA, okay? So let's do some math. A disclaimer, I am not a CPA. In fact, I'm not even good at math. This is my rule of thumb, and it's an easy sanity check. Okay, let's run through it. How to determine your revenue per subscriber. Simple. Revenue divided by total number of subscribers equals revenue per subscriber. Okay, so let's do it. Revenue for the past 6 months, let's say it was 500 grand. Your total subscribers, active and unsubscribes, okay? So you don't just look at the people who are active, you look at the entire database of all the leads that you've created over the last 6 months, okay? Let's say it's 50,000 subscribers. Well, you have a revenue per subscriber of $10. $10, okay? Don't forget the bills. In other words, the overhead, because you will have costs, okay, like overhead, payroll, office expenses, etc. And I generally, me personally, I generally operate at a 20% margin. If you're in the food business, you're gonna be operating on like a 5% margin or something like that, right? But the point is, you're gonna be operating on some kind of margin. You need to know what your overhead is in order to get the next number that we're gonna talk about. So I estimate my cost at about 70% of revenue. And depending on your business, this percentage may be higher or lower, okay? So if you're in physical goods, it's gonna be probably lower. If you're in digital only, lower. Services or higher. Services, depending on how many people you have, overhead, all stuff, okay? You just need to know your number. Ask your CPA to give it to you. So, to jump back to this, remember the revenue for the past 6 months was 500,000, total subscribers was 50,000, your revenue per subscriber was 10. Well, I backed out that overhead cost, that's $7. Now I know that my profit per subscriber is $3, okay? So that's where we come up with that CPA. So now, here's what you can do. Here's what you know. Every time somebody opts into your list, they're worth $3. This is the first thing that any reputable traffic agency is going to ask you. Okay, so you need to know the answer for them to be able to do their job. So here's what we're assuming in this example. You are only running your offers to your house list, okay? So remember the 7 ways to deploy stealth asset leverage to your 2 different email lists? This example, you're only doing the very first one, all right? You're not doing any of those other things. So that's how we came up with that number. What we're talking about doing is actually increasing the value of every opt-in by using this endorsement model, okay? So that's where we're going with this. So here's what you can do now. You can go to an agency, okay? Or you can just hire a traffic person directly and have them work for you. And you can say, here's my market. Here's my customer profile. And I can afford to spend $3 per opt-in. And you can afford to spend $3 per email submit, all right, and still break even. And anytime you can break even and build a list, that's money. All right, so 3 tips to control ad management costs. I just mentioned this as an aside, just so if you do go with an agency, here's a few things that will help you out. Number 1, you need to have a signed payment agreement in place, okay? Because sometimes these things are kind of fluid and it's like, what did he exactly say? So you just need to have a contract. Typically, the minimum management fee, the way that these agencies work is that there's going to be like a minimum management fee per month, or 10 to 20% of your ad spend, whichever is greater. So for example, if you spent $6,000 that month in ad spend, let's say in Facebook and Google combined, or just in Facebook or just in Google or just in whatever platform you happen to be using, if you spent $6,000 that month, the agency might have a $1,000 minimum charge, okay? Because obviously $1,000 is greater than is more than, what am I trying to say here? $6,000 per month. They have a minimum charge of $1,000. So for example, if they charged you 10% of $6,000, that'd be $600, but their minimum charge is $1,000. Okay. So once your ad spending ramps up, so let's say for example, if you get up to $25,000 and the agreement was 10% of the ad spend, then you pay $2,500 to that agency. Okay. So for example, in this example, this agency is going to charge you $1,000 minimum if you spend $1, or if you spend up to $10,000 that month. When you go above $10,000, for example, they're going to start charging you 10%, okay? But they're going to charge you whichever is greater, okay? And I would try to stay away from management fee plus ad spend, okay? That's kind of double dipping a little bit. All right, tip number 2, this is usually negotiable, okay? So if they think that you're a real baller, okay, like I know agencies that don't even work with people unless they're spending at least $100,000 a month. If you're a real baller, then you can go to them and you can say, look, I know you're out of your boilerplate is 20%, but I'm going to spend $100,000 a month. I'm already doing this and the other thing. We have a lot of potential, and you can negotiate that number. So try to cap their fee. This is a big one for me. So what I do is I try to cap their fee. And the reason I do this is if I have a campaign that ramps up to $100,000 a month in ad spend and they're doing nothing but scale, so they're basically adding no additional work. They're just opening up the traffic and they're opening up the budget. They're not really doing a lot more work. Then I'd only be paying $10,000 in fees. Okay, and usually they're cool with this. Okay, so I've had basically caps at $45,000 a month. I pay no more, even if that thing goes to $100,000 a month or $1 million a month, I'm still only paying $4,500 a month in fees. Okay, so that's a few tips to help you out there. So how to maximize your ROI. The agency only knows what was spent. Okay, they know what was actually spent in the ad spend and if they hit the CPA number or not. That's basically all they know. You got to run the numbers and track the value. I put CPA cost, but really it's the value of that opt-in all the way through to the sale. Okay. Every traffic source converts differently, and it doesn't matter if you're doing email opt-in or if you're going for a sale right on the front end. You have to track the lifetime value in order to know what the lead is worth. And you need to track each traffic source independently because some are worth $1 an email submit, some are worth $10. Okay, but here's the big aha that I had a while back. Once you trust your agency, just give them direct access to your ROI reports and let them scale it up or down. Okay, so for example, they might notice that your Google traffic for search for a particular offer is worth $5 CPA. Okay. And so you don't want to hold that back and hold them back at a continued $3 CPA because they can ramp it up and go get you some more leads. Got that? So what you want to do at a certain point, once you have that signed agreement in place, okay, and once you trust them, okay, you certainly don't want to do this right off the bat, but once you find somebody that you can trust, just give them the reports, let them run it, and then let them dynamically scale up or down the traffic sources that are converting the best. Okay. So let's talk about affiliate offers. How to lower your CPA cost by 20% and increase profits. Okay. Maximizing our ROI. I'm going to show you in this example how by just adding 3 affiliate offers to your follow-up sequence, okay, can lower your CPA by 20% or 61 cents per lead. In this example, I'm going to say we're in the health and fitness niche and we are targeting women aged 40 to 55. And we're selling an ebook called 101 Delicious Fat-Scorching Recipes for Women Over 40 with an upsell to a membership site. All right. Then you offer them, let's say, 3 more products later in your funnel and again in your follow-up sequence. Now, and I'm talking about your products, okay? Using only your house offers, you have a profit per lead of $3. Now, here's 2 cold hard facts. Fact number 1, the majority of people who opt into your list will not buy any of your products ever, okay? So sell them other people's stuff, okay? Because the majority of those people, okay, if you get 10,000 opt-ins and you sell 20% of that list, that's 2,000 orders. Well, guess what? Now there's 8,000 people on that list that didn't buy jack. So let's sell them something, all right? Now, fact number 2. Years ago, I used to talk to entrepreneurs about this strategy and got mostly blank stares. Today, many of those companies are gone. And I'm talking about dudes that were at the top of the hill in a particular niche who could not get their head wrapped around this are gone. Okay, it's not always the case, but especially unless you're an 800-pound gorilla in the market, this really needs to be one of your strategies. And here's the bad news. The old world's gone. The old economy's gone. The old way of doing business is gone. We now live in a global market. It's never going back to the way it was, okay? And if you refuse to embrace the new global economy, you won't have to worry about business anymore because you won't be in business anymore. Now, I got this straight out of like my kid's 4th grade science book. I just happened to walk by and I noticed this on the page. Organisms that can't adapt perish. And it's exactly in the same in the natural, the biological world. It's exactly the same in the business world, okay? Businesses that can't adapt perish. So a refusal to embrace change will result in eroding profits, slumping sales, frustration, anxiety, and business failure, okay? So hopefully I've driven home this point forcefully enough. Here's the good news. People on your list desperately want to know about products and services that can help them, even if they're not yours. Okay, here's a reality check. Your list, your people, they're just really not that into you. Okay, they're not really as into you as you think they are. They just want the solution that's going to help them. And they don't really care if it comes from you or somebody else. Okay, get that through your head. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. Okay. And I don't care how many fan letters you have, if you go to them with a solution that they desperately want, they're going to buy it. And they're going to actually love you for telling them about it. And I'll take this one step further. You have a moral obligation to advise and encourage your list to buy other people's products if, and only if, those products will actually help them and deliver genuine value. Okay? Because they're going to get value from actually purchasing something that's going to help them, and you're going to get value in the terms of money, right? So it's a win-win. So there's no weirdness going on here about promoting other people's stuff. It's just like a friend that says, hey, where can I go and buy myself, a jackhammer because I need to build a new fence? And you're like, well, dude, you just go down to Home Depot and you can rent one for a day. You don't need to go buy it. Well, if you got paid a little commission on that and you just saved him from buying a $500 jackhammer to renting it for $50 a day, he's going to love you for that, okay? Because you had that expertise. That's the same type of mentality you need to approach your list with. Okay, here's an example. Your 101 delicious fat-scorching recipes for women over 40. Let's say that you went out there, you took this offer to the market, you ran some traffic, and 10,000 people bought your book, okay? And those 10,000 women who got your book are now hungry for more information, news, tips to help them achieve their goals. It's your job to give it to them and get paid for doing that, okay? And simply adding a few solid converting relevant offers to your email sequence can lower your CPA cost, increase your goodwill with your customers, and boost your profits. Here's how it works. Let's say you add just 3 affiliate offers to your follow-up sequence, Okay, here's the stats. Let's say you put an email in there for the affiliate offer number 1. And this can be, I put affiliate offer number 1. It could be 3 emails for the same offer. It doesn't make any difference. It can be 3 different offers. It can be any combination. Okay, it should just, affiliate offer number 1, just simply an email that goes out to your list that you're going to get paid a commission on when someone buys. Okay, so in this case, it could be affiliate offer number 1 could be organic olive oil. Affiliate offer number 2 could be how to build muscle and burn fat for women age 40 to 50. And affiliate offer number 3 could be an ab roller or something. I don't know. I'm just making this stuff up. But the point is, you send the email out, you get 500 clicks, and the earnings per click on affiliate offer number 1 is $1.93, okay? Which means every time somebody clicks on that, you get $1.93 in the bank account in terms of commission, okay? The way you figure that out is you look at the commissions that you got for sending that offer, in this case, $965, and you divide that by the number of clicks you got $1.93. The second offer converted it $2.30 EPC, so you got $11.50 commissions on that. Affiliate offer number 3, 500 clicks again, you got $1.90 EPC, you got $950. And then you got $3,065 in commissions. Now, look, we're not talking about a lot of money here, okay? This is doable. 500 clicks from an email list is very, very doable, okay? Now, congratulations. You just lowered your CPA by 20% or 61 cents, and I'll show you how it works. You got 5,000 opt-ins. Okay, we're going back to where these leads came from. Okay, 5,000 opt-ins. You told your agency, remember you told them you could spend $3 per opt-in. So you take 5,000, you multiply it by 3, you get $15,000. Real simple math there, okay? So you spent 15 grand. You just made, in affiliate commissions, $3,065, okay? So you take your ad cost, you subtract out your affiliate commissions, you got $11,935. Now your actual cost, guess what? Just got lowered to $2.39. Why? Because you got paid $3,065 for promoting somebody else's product. Okay? So your savings is 61 cents per opt-in, which is 20% of your $3. So your new earnings per, or your actual profit is $3.61. So that's what you can actually go out and afford to buy new leads for instead of $3. And you did that by just adding someone else's product to your backend sequence. See how that works? So your new CPA after adding affiliate costs $3.61. So now you have two options. Either you can go contact your agency and say, hey, you ramp it up to $3.61 or $3.50, okay? Whatever you want to tell them, but you can increase it. That's the point. Okay, and you want to do that when you're in the planting mode, just like a farmer has to till the soil, plant the seed, cultivate it, and then harvest. Okay, it depends on what mode you're in, which option you're going to exercise here. So if it's option 1, if you're like, dude, we need to ramp up because we want to put as many people in our funnel as possible because we're coming up on our busy season, then you'd probably want to go to them and you'd want to actually tell them to ramp it up, okay? Which means you can get more leads or you can get better qualified leads, okay? Option 2 is you can just bank the profit and get faster ROI on your ad spend. So if you're in a harvest mode, that's probably what you'd want to do there. So 7 steps to profit from other people's products. So this is going to show you how to actually go out and find stuff to promote. Step 1, you need to ask yourself, what does my list buy? This is the most important question, by the way. Make a list of everything people buy related to your market, okay? Everything. And in this case, we're in this health and fitness market. These women 40 to 50 years old, 40 to 55, what do they buy? Well, they buy face cream. They buy anti-wrinkle cream. They buy makeup with sun lotion or suntan stuff in it. They buy ab rollers. They buy exercise equipment. They buy memberships to gyms. They buy memberships to bar classes and to yoga classes. They buy smoothies. They buy shakes and supplements. They buy a ton of stuff. Okay, it's a huge market actually. You can use Amazon to search the most popular products and get ideas. Okay, just go to Amazon and start typing in some of this stuff, and your brain is gonna be on fire with ideas. Look at your top competitors. Okay, that's another great one. Just what what else are people buying from your top competitors? Then you want to ask yourself, what are they searching for? Okay, use Google keyword tool to see what they're searching for. And the reason I put this as step 2 and said, what are they buying first? Is because obviously people can search for stuff and not necessarily be buying. They might just be searching for information or free products, okay, or trials and that kind of thing. But you want to ask yourself, what are they buying first? And secondly, we look at what they're searching for. Use Google keyword tool to see what they're searching for, and you see the search volume, the actual keywords. Look at YouTube for top videos. So videos that have a ton of views in this particular vertical, probably an indication of what people are into, okay? SEMrush for search volume, that's a really cool tool. Search volume, and as well as it's kind of related to Google keyword tool, just a little bit different angle. Step 3, find companies with affiliate programs. Go to the bottom of the sites, okay, of your competitors and these different sites of these companies that you find, like the ab roller guy or whatever you happen to be think that your list will like. And look for affiliates. Look for a sign-up page. Look for the word affiliate at the bottom of the site, or affiliate programs, okay? And it could be a house program. It could be a network. So, for example, if you go to abroller.com, I have no idea if that's a real site, by the way. I'm just totally making it up. And you go to the bottom, and it might say affiliates. You click on it. It might take you over to ClickBank. It might take you over to ClickBooth. It might take you over to Commission Junction, okay, to sign up, because they might be using a third-party affiliate program or a third-party affiliate network. Or they might have their own house list. But either way, you can just sign up for it, okay? Sign up for their program and look legit, okay? So you sign up for the program, which happens all the time, and the affiliate manager gets all kinds of people who sign up all the time who think they're going to get rich quick just because they signed up for an affiliate program, and they do nothing, okay? And remember Pareto's law of like 80-20, in other words, 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. With affiliates, it's probably more like 95-5. 95% of your sales come from 5% of your affiliates if you're running a program. So, and affiliate managers know this. So what you want to do is when you sign up for the program, you want to look legit. You want to contact the manager. You want to say, hey, I have a list. I have a company. I have a real website. We sell stuff related to you. We would like to do a deal with you, etc. Okay? Contact the affiliate manager and ask about the best converting offer, okay? Because they might have 5 different offers and one of them is just outpulling everything else. You want to promote the best converting offer. You need to ask them what that is. Ask what the EPC is for endorsed email traffic, okay? That's an important part of it, endorsed email traffic. In other words, if they come back and go, the EPC is $2.39. Okay, good. EPC from what traffic source? From cold banner ads? From Site Scout, from Taboola, from some program, from email traffic, from brokered email traffic, from cold traffic to warm traffic to customers to buyers to, like, what do you mean EPC is? You need to ask the question. What is the EPC for endorsed email traffic? Because that is what you're about to do. You're about to send an endorsed email. You're going to say, hey, here's a good product. You should go buy it, basically. And you want to know what the EPC is for that traffic, okay? And I guarantee you it's always going to be higher than cold banner traffic, that kind of thing, all right? Now, test the offer. This is really, really, really important. Ask for the highest converting email swipe. So they're going to have emails, hopefully, that they've already tested, with a headline they've already tested, with a body copy they've already tested. Maybe it has a graphic in there, an image, a video, whatever, okay? You want the best possible chance for success. So ask them for the highest converting tested email swipe for the highest converting offer, which has the highest EPC. Then you want to segment your list and send the email to a small segment. Okay. So if you have 50,000 people in your list, do not send it to 50,000 people. Send it to 5,000 and then go look at the results. That way, if it blows up in your face, you haven't sent it to all the other 45,000 people. Okay. Only 5,000 people saw it. Look at the results, and if it converts, well, mail it to the entire list. It really is that simple. So step 5 is to create an evergreen asset, which means you're going to create 2 to 3 emails and put them in your backend follow-up sequence. You're going to check your stats and verify your payment. And you're going to have an affiliate dashboard, obviously, to log in and take a look at this. Verify your payment, okay? Make sure that what you're looking at in terms of the number of clicks in your system and the number of clicks that they're reporting match up pretty close, and make sure that the number of clicks that you're getting and the actual payment that you're owed is right, okay? Step 6, ask for increased commissions, okay? Usually big affiliate programs, they already have milestones. Like, okay, when you reach, if we were paying a 25% commission, when you reach $1,000 in sales or $1,000 in commissions, we're going to bump you up to 35%. You reach 10,000, we're going to bump you up to 50%, whatever the case is. They usually have milestones. If they don't, then just go back to the affiliate manager this is after you've already sent them some sales, okay? Go back to the affiliate manager and say, hey, I've sent you $10,000 in sales. I was wondering if there's any wiggle room for me to be able to get more money, okay? And if they're smart, they want you to continue to promote, then the answer is going to be yeah, okay? I've been paid as much as 75% per sale for promoting different offers, and I've paid out as much as 100% per sale. Why in the world would anybody do that? Well, because that was a self-liquidating offer, and all I wanted to do is generate a list of buyers I could sell other stuff to on the back end. So basically, I was using the affiliate program, paying out 100% on the front end just to generate buyers so I could sell them other stuff, okay? And you can either sell them other stuff that's yours or sell them other stuff that's affiliate related, okay? And that right there, that last bullet point, I know people running multi-million-dollar businesses who do just that. So if you dozed off, you might want to sit up and pay attention to that last bullet point there. All right. Step 7, add value to your back end. Wash, rinse, repeat, okay? You should try to test and add one new affiliate promotion to your follow-up sequence every month. That's our goal in both our businesses. And in anything I do, I try to find something good, some other new thing, some other value that I can give to my list in the form of a new promo. This only increases the value of your list. So if you think about it, if you have a back-end sequence that, let's say, is 6 months long, well, now if you can continue to add value to that in terms of content, in terms of newsletters, in terms of promotions, okay, yours and other people's promotions, and it turns into a 12-month back-end sequence, well, guess what? Now you just created more value, or added more value into that asset, okay, which is your follow-up sequence. Now, if your head is about to explode, you might want to just push pause here, okay, because this is kind of an advanced stealth asset strategy. And again, what I'd really like you to do is just, at this point, your action item, okay, is to go find affiliate offers and put them in your dadgum backend sequence so you can make more money. That's really the bottom line, okay? But, so if your head's about to explode, just sit back and relax for a second and just listen to this, okay? Because I'm telling you, this is freaking big, as in $35 million big, okay? So this might be a time just to kind of like chill, put down your pen. You don't need to take notes, just listen, okay? What is licensing anyway? I never even heard of this until a few years ago. Well, I probably heard of it, but I didn't really understand it at all, okay? I looked this up. This came from Licensing Expo. This is an excellent kind of technical definition. Licensing is the process of leasing a legally protected, as in trademarked or copyrighted, entity. Okay, let's just start there for a second. It's the process of leasing a legally protected, trademark or copyrighted entity. Okay? Now, that entity can be a name, like LeBron James, a likeness, so something that's like LeBron James cartoon, a logo, like Coca-Cola, a trademark, okay, a graphic design, a slogan. What slogan would be trademarked? Well, how about I've fallen, I can't get up? That's actually a trademarked slogan. A signature, so a John Hancock signature is probably protected. A character, SpongeBob. A combination of several of these elements, okay? Now, the entity, known as the property or the intellectual property, is then used in conjunction with the product, okay? Many major companies and the media consider licensing a significant marketing tool. Interesting that they say marketing tool, not necessarily a money maker, okay? So for example, Coke doesn't make money, they don't make the majority of their money licensing out Coke logos to people that want to make t-shirts, all right? They make their money selling Coke, but they license out the brand so that they can continue to build the brand, okay? This is very, very fascinating. Here's a very simple definition for you. This is my definition, by the way. Licensing is leasing another company's brand, logo, or personality and putting it on your product with the goal of increasing sales. Here's some examples. You're going to instantly get this as soon as I show you this. A lunchbox, all right? There's your lunchbox with the Disney characters. Can't remember their names. I think it's Anna and Elsa, okay, from the movie Frozen. Well, guess what? Disney don't make lunchboxes. Disney makes movies and characters, and they own ESPN and a bunch of other stuff, right? Whoever this lunchbox manufacturer is went to Disney and they said, hey, we'd like to sell lunchboxes with Elsa and Anna on the lunchbox. And Disney said, great. Here's a license to do that. Here's all the artwork to do that. We want to help you develop the product. We want to make sure it's good before you start selling it. And once we're all square, you're going to pay us 10% royalty on every sale. Okay? How many lunchboxes do you think that they would sell if it was just blue? But with Anna and Elsa on there, suddenly the game has changed. Here's a knife. Now, the knife is made by Knife Depot, or sold by Knife Depot. And you see the Smith & Wesson? You can barely see it on the top of the blade there. It says Smith & Wesson. Well, let me tell you something. Smith & Wesson makes guns. They do not make knives. So this very smart and astute knife manufacturer was sitting there going, how can we sell some more knives? Oh, here's an idea. Let's call it Smith & Wesson's licensing department and ask them if they want to do a deal, and we'll pay them royalty to put their logo on every knife that we sell, and we'll call it the Smith & Wesson whatever, tactical knife thingy. You're going to sell more knives with that logo on there because the guy who's a Smith & Wesson guy is like, oh, cool, I didn't know Smith & Wesson made knives. I bet it's a good product. I trust the brand because I own a Smith & Wesson. Therefore, I'm going to get this knife. You see how that works? Ferrari headphones. Here's a news flash for you. Ferrari don't make headphones. They make cars. But they have an amazing luxury brand. Therefore, this very smart earphone manufacturer, or headset manufacturer, whatever you call these things, called it Ferrari, and they said, and by the way, they didn't call the plant. They had a licensing agent, probably Ferrari does, or they have an in-house licensing program. A lot of these people use agents. You just call the agent and you go, hey, we manufacture headphones. We'd like to do a deal with you. We'd like to pay you a 5%, 10%, 20% royalty to make the headphones. I think you get the idea here. DeWalt, they make drills and power tools. They don't make radios. So the radio manufacturer made this kind of tough industrial-looking radio and went to DeWalt and said, we'd like to do a deal with you. We'd like to use your patented black and white logo and design and put it on here. And then guys who are contractors who are out working on the job, they want a good radio. And so, hey, guess what? We'll give them one and they'll have this radio sitting right next to their DeWalt toolbox. Okay, DeWalt doesn't make radios. They're just licensing this to build their brand. Guess who else is in on the licensing business? The United States Marine Corps. Okay? If you didn't know, the Marine Corps doesn't make watches. The Marine Corps makes Marines. But they have trademarked logos and slogans, and therefore they can license that out to a watch manufacturer who wants to sell watches to some kid who wants to be a Marine one day or whatever, or somebody, okay? Margaritaville. Wasted away again in Margaritaville, looking for my lost shaker of salt, right? Remember that song? Jimmy Buffett? It's pretty funny, isn't it? Here's what else is funny. Margaritaville is $1 billion brand. Yes, you heard me right. Billion with a B. What they do is they license out their Margaritaville logos and stuff to people like this dude right here who wanted to make a blue chair. Well, this is an actual example, by the way. The guy making this chair sold some chairs that were blue and sold them to like big box retailers, Target, Walmart, and that kind of thing. And then he basically said, you know what would probably be a good idea? I could probably sell more chairs if I had Margaritaville on here. So he called up the Margaritaville agency or their in-house licensing people, and they did a deal with them and slapped Margaritaville on there and sold a whole lot more beach chairs, okay? So I think you get the idea here. Here's the point, and here's why it matters to you. Licensing is one of the highest, the greatest points of asset leverage for any business, okay? Because you can ride on the shoulders of giants like Coke, Disney, and Warner Brothers. Some of these brands are 100 years old and they already own the mindshare and trust of customers. This can be a seismic shift in your business model. Okay, so don't overlook it like I did. Let me show you. This is a true story. How I potentially lost millions because of my pride and ignorance. In 2007, my guitar lesson business was up and running quite nicely. I just bought a 5,000 plus square foot French country style house in one of the best suburban neighborhoods. Bought my wife a brand new Cadillac Escalade. Took a trip to Italy, Hawaii, and the Gulf Coast, which is one of my favorite places on earth, by the way. I was fat, happy. Literally, I was fat. I was like 20 pounds heavier than I am now. Fat, happy, and a little arrogant. Okay, I'll just be honest with you. Here's a side note. Money almost always makes you less hungry and thus more prone to getting sniped by hardworking, won't-quit bootstrappers. Anyway, I noticed a new kid on the block, a new competitor. I didn't think a lot about them until I noticed that one day their Learn Guitar course changed names. It now had Gibson in front of the title. Okay, Gibson was founded in 1902 and is one of the biggest brands and manufacturers of guitars. If you're a guitarist, everybody knows Gibson. Okay. I promoted their product to test to see how it converted. Okay. Pretty soon they were sending me affiliate checks in the high 4 figures and often 5-figure range every month. I didn't know how they convinced Gibson to allow them to use their name, and I didn't really care. I didn't follow up. I didn't do any research. I did nothing. That was a big profit-crushing mistake. Flash forward 8 years and I get this email from them. Hello, I'm the producer for this company. We are the guys behind Gibson's Learn and Master Guitar, Gibson's Skill House, Gibson's Guitar Apprentice, and many other products. Partly because of our relationship with them, we have sold over 35 million in online guitar instruction. And they basically emailed me. They wanted to do a deal, a licensing deal with actually us, and for some content and that kind of thing. Anyway, here's the point. These guys entered a flooded market, or a market flooded with smart direct response marketers, and instantly differentiated their product by licensing the 100-year-old Gibson brand, while the rest of us smart guys were trying to build our own brand. Okay? Here's a question for you. Which of these are you more likely to buy? Guitar Zoom's 6-minute guitar or Gibson's Learn and Master Guitar? Well, if you're a guitar player and you know and trust the 100-year-old Gibson brand, you're probably more likely to buy Learn and Master Guitar. Okay? Which of these things are you more likely to buy? If your kid is in kindergarten and she just watched the movie, a regular old blue lunchbox at Target or a blue lunchbox at Target with these girls on it? If you're a Smith & Wesson guy, you're more likely to buy this or the one with Smith & Wesson. If you love Ferraris, or at least you love what Ferrari represents, more likely to buy a regular old pair of red earphones or Ferrari. And by the way, this is a big price differentiation factor. Regular red headphones, $19.99. Ferrari headphones, $199. That's a true story, by the way. A yellow, ugly thing, radio thing, or a DeWalt thing, okay? A regular old silver watch or the United States Marine Corps endorsed watch. A blue chair or a Margaritaville chair. It completely changes the positioning of the product and therefore the price and therefore the conversion of it, because people want this thing is associated with the brand that they know, like, and trust. Okay. If you want to go deep into this, here's what I recommend. Start with licensingexpo.com. Go to the show. There's a yearly show in Vegas. Sign up for the classes. Okay, they have classes there and they go through all of this stuff. They take you from the very beginning all the way up to the advanced stuff. Meet people in the industry. Okay, there's licensees, there's licensors, there's brokers, attorneys, and there's talent. And there's a bunch of other moving pieces to this puzzle. But I can guarantee you this, your eyes are going to be open to a whole new world, man. It's going to be awesome. So we covered a lot about stealth asset leverage in this presentation, a lot. Okay, but the reality is we haven't even begun to scratch the surface on the multitude of ways to profit from other companies' product service lists, marketing, and brand building. So can you imagine what your business would look like if you actually did all this stuff? Want some help? If you'd like me to personally help you implement these types of strategies and campaigns, then I would love to speak with you to see if we might be a good fit. And with your permission, I'd like to personally create a customized Operation Windfall campaign for your business and then walk you through it over the phone. 100% free with no strings attached. So why would I do all this for free? 3 reasons your Operation Windfall campaign is free. 1, I just love doing it. I love strategizing, planning, working on other businesses. It energizes me and sharpens my soul. You can probably hear that in my voice. I just love this stuff. Second, I'm a huge believer in collaboration. I believe that it's woven into the fabric of the universe that people need other people to help achieve our goals. It's the way it is, okay? And since I'll be looking at your business from a 30,000 foot view, there are things that I may be able to see from the air that you simply can't from the ground, and it gives me an intense personal satisfaction to discover untapped profit centers that you may be overlooking. And the third is this is how I attract only high-level Top Gun clients. And your 100% satisfaction is guaranteed, or I'll pay you $500. I'm going to create a customized Operation Windfall plan for your business, 100% free up front. And I absolutely guarantee that you'll be 100% satisfied, or I'll pay you $500 to compensate you for your time. Is that fair enough? All right, so here's what to do next. Click the link or button on this page to learn more about how to take me up on this valuable offer. Fill out the short application to make sure that we're a good fit. And remember, this offer is limited because of the demands on my time. I can only work with a handful of businesses and give them the attention they deserve. So let's talk soon. Take care, my friend.